My name is Amanda Wright. I'm one of the tour guides here at Center in the Square. And today we're going to go visit the rooftop, meet with some kids, and we're going to talk about plants. There are 4 major plant groups that are in the plant kingdom. The first group is bryophytes, which consists of mosses and liverworts and hornworts, and they are non-vascular. And they tend to be small spore-producing plants. The next set is seedless vascular plants, just like firs, and they reproduce from spores. The next group is gymnosperms, which are seeds from a stem or a cone. You might want to think of your conifers or fir trees and the pine cones that fall out of them that contain the seeds. And then our last group, which we're going to be focusing on today, is a group of plants called angiosperms, or flowering plants, and all of their seeds come from fruit. Hi, my name is Amanda. I'm back with you up here at Center in the Square on the rooftop, and today we're going to identify plants. Now I found this plant, which is part of the angiosperm family, one of the largest groups of plant families that we have. But this one is special because it's what falls in a class of what's called a monocot. So I'm going to tell you how to identify a monocot. If you look at the leaves, and you look at the veins in the leaves, this is called the midbridge right here. And if you look at the veins coming out from around the midbridge, they're all in parallel with each other. They're not crossing each other, and it does not look like a net. This is the apex of your leaf, and this is the ridge of the leaf. So as you can tell, they're all parallel. That's one identifying feature of the monocot. Another one is if you have a flower, you want to count how many flower petals there are, and they always come in groups of 3. There's 3 on the bottom here, and there's 3 on the top here. So I think we can safely say that this guy is a monocot. The other way to tell what if you have a monocot or not is by the type of root system it has. They tend to be bulb systems, or they tend to have roots that sprawl. They do not have a taproot. And their seeds, their flower seeds, they have what's called one cotyledon. And a cotyledon is basically a very small leaf that's wrapped up inside of this seed. And when it comes out of its seed, that's when it blooms and it starts developing a root system, and that's when you have to plant it. So now we're going to look at dicots, and I have some examples of dicots right here. Right here, let's count the leaves. We have the petals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 petals, and dicots have 4 or 5 petal groupings. These larger flowers will have like groupings of any multiples of 4 or 5. So they might have 10 petals, they might have 16 petals, especially this flower right here. There's quite a few, and I'll lose track if I try to count it. So now let's take a look at the leaf structure like we did with the monocots. And if you look at the leaf structure on these, this one's actually a good one right here, you will see that these leaves, even though it looks like they're somewhat parallel, if you get really close, stereoscopes are good for this. You can actually get really close and see the plant without hurting it. Or a magnifying glass, and you can see that the leaves are a little bit more branched. And when branching leaves, they're a little bit more netted. That's like this one right here. And that indicates to us that that is a dicot. They also have a taproot, so their roots don't spread like, let's say, monocots do. So they actually have one taproot. One of the things we need to talk about when you're about ready to put in your own garden is that you actually do need to plant it. Some plants work better with, and some plants don't work that great with each other. So you always want to make sure you dry out your plants, and that way your plants will thrive the best. And when you put in plants, make sure you have a good amount of different types of plants, because that adds to the biodiversity. So what do we plant?
We planted romaine,